twitching in his eyes.
When Ari seizes, all you can really do is just hold him and wait for the seizure to pass. And as a parent, having a child seize in your arms is the most helpless feeling that there is.
And somebody described it to me recently as working with children who have seizures is like writing on a piece of paper and following with an eraser. Everything you're imprinting in their brain, the eraser is just following behind and erasing. And I think that was the first time that I really understood, oh, now I understand when the doctors say, seizure control, that's what you need.
When I first started in this 30 years ago, most people believed that if a child had really bad epilepsy and did not do well developmentally, it was because something was wrong with the brain, and it didn't matter if you controlled the seizures or not. It is now the accepted idea that for many children, the seizures themselves contribute significantly and sometimes entirely to the poor developmental outcome. And minimizing or eliminating the seizures can have just a huge impact on long-term development. The difference between going to a regular school and winding up in an institution.
Jason is 6 years old and he's having seizures on a daily basis. His learning disabilities is very, very bad. He can't walk, he can't talk. Mom has been here for 6 years and she doesn't know why. She doesn't know why he can't talk, why he can't walk. And little Angelica might have 10 seizures a day, but unfortunately, Mom says that she's never been treated or seen by a specialist. Much, much needed, a pediatric epileptologist.
What are all these children, all these people, all these families going to do if there's no funding? What are we going to do if there's not enough research? If there's not enough pediatric neurologists? Enough medications, more changes, better. We can't just be okay with what we have now, because even one seizure a day is too many.
We in California, we used to at one time speak of what a terrible place to be in, because physicians cannot specialize in this and take care of this problem with poor patient access. When I started here as a trainee, there were only 3 of us as faculty members in epilepsy. Suddenly, we have all these centers, right? All with 5, 6, 7 epileptologists, which is, something quite remarkable. And it did not really come because of anything other than care and cure.
The Care and Cure Institute just has opened up the floodgates in terms of access for countless patients in the community.
It was common to have 4 to 6 months wait to be seen by us, and that has gradually shrunk.
Now we're looking at several weeks for most patients, and for very specific urgent forms of epilepsy, we get patients in same day.
Care and Cure, it has allowed us not only to be responsive to the families and the children with epilepsy, but also to assemble top talent, world-class epileptologists that trained with us, often chose to stay with us, and when they didn't stay with us, many of them have populated neighboring institutions.
They are placing an investment in graduating pediatric epileptologists at the precise moment when they need it most.
I'm a second-year pediatric epilepsy fellow at UCLA now. This epilepsy fellowship was really one of the perfect avenues to align my interests. I'm happy to talk about King Keller and his family and how I met them.
At the time, I had seen 5 different neurologists in town and nobody wanted to help us. I was able to get an appointment with Dr. An, and I was in pretty quickly.
When I first met King on a Tuesday afternoon, one of my clinic days, his seizures were still uncontrolled.
We had to take him out of school. We couldn't even go to the grocery store. I remember one of the last times we had gone to the grocery store, he had tooth in the store, and we weren't even there for an hour. You know, and everybody's looking at us, and what am I supposed to say? He's having a seizure? You know, I don't want people in our business, you know? My son actually had a seizure in front of Dr. On, and Dr. On was able to see for himself what we were dealing with. I was very happy because he immediately, he actually cared.
We were fortunate to be able to have King admitted to the hospital within 1 to 2 days. We were able to capture many of his seizures on the EEG, characterize his seizures, and better understand the type of epilepsy he had.
We were able to find out more information in the 2 days we were there than the last 2 years out here in Las Vegas, you know, which is crazy.
We were able to take that information and form a hypothesis about what the most appropriate anti-seizure medication may be. And we started a new medication, and I'm happy to have heard that it worked. King has been seizure-free since we first saw them during that hospital admission.
I'm just so thankful for Dr. On. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I'm a mess, and I tried to do this good, but this is real life, you know? This is our life. Like, before we saw Dr. On, it was horrible, horrible.
To be honest, I'm just very humbled to be a part of, you know, this journey with King.
I feel like we finally got our life back. King's able to go to school now. It'll be almost 3 months seizure-free. He literally has not had a seizure since we have left the hospital. He has been seizure-free, completely seizure-free. And that's amazing, 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 you know? And I'm just very thankful.
Seeing that positive response in patients is really what I do this for. You know, it puts a smile on my face, and, you know, it warms my heart.
The thing that has been the most helpful from Care and Cure is the resources have helped us markedly improve access for children with epilepsy.
So there's a lot of need for us to continue expanding the epilepsy services, not just at CHLA, but in the community that we serve. So back in 2016, when we started forming and expanding the epilepsy services at CHLA, we used to see about 1,100 patients a year with seizures or epilepsy. And in 2021, we've seen over 6,000 patients with seizures and epilepsy.
When you see there's such a huge need and the seizures are having such severe and sometimes devastating consequences on the child and the family and the community, very naturally you fall into that position of wanting to, relieve some of that pain and do your best to improve that child's quality of life.
We certainly need to congratulate ourselves and congratulate Care and Cure and celebrate tonight, but we also need to go back to work tomorrow morning and get back to it.
You know, the most important thing that we need is more doctors, right? There's lots of patients in the community that have epilepsy, and the best treatment for those patients is getting them into a pediatric epileptologist, and there's not enough of us.
Thank you so much. You have literally saved our lives.
You know, when I talk to an individual family or two, I don't always assume that they're going to go and start a whole institute and change the whole landscape, you know. I couldn't have predicted that at all.